Hi guys, in this week's video I'm going to try and make some adjustments to my pedal board to do a kind of a one-man band thing. So at the weekend, probably will be several weeks before this video goes out because I'm slow and lazy, or several years because you could be watching this in the far distant future. So at the weekend I went to a big gig, a big festival type thing. Loads of metal bands. It was great. It was great fun. One of the bands that I watched was a one-man band, and I use that term kind of loosely here because it was just like one dude on stage with a bass guitar, and he had a bunch of pedals, like I'll give him that much, and he was really into what he was doing. But I was kind of stood there watching him for a little while thinking, I can do that. I can probably do better than that. Famous last words, but let's see. So, the gears started spinning, and I decided that I would try to rearrange my pedal board to make a kind of a cool signal chain that could work for a one-man band setup. So let's go over to the pedal board and see what I can do. So, this is my pedal board in its current incarnation. I don't actually remember the signal chain perfectly. Yeah. I know that it starts here with the volume, then it goes up to the tuner, then the silencer, and then there's a whole array of stuff going on. I think it's one way, I don't think it ever splits or anything, which is fine for what I used to do. But now I'm thinking I want to split my signal 3 times. Or, well, twice, yeah. I want to split it into 3, so split it twice. Which I can do with the current array of pedals that I have. So if I can split it into 3 ways, then I can have one signal going off to become a kind of a synth pad sound with a load of effects, and another one just going through a straight, pretty standard guitar effects chain, and then a third can be like a bass. So I have thought this through a bit better than I'm explaining, so let's just start from the beginning, right? The idea I have is keep these 3 as they are, so volume, envelope, just so I can mute my guitar easily. Tuner, because you need a tuner obviously, and then the silencer. I like having that at the start of my chain. I have a video which is very controversial and people argue about whether or not you should be using the silencer the way I use it and blah blah blah. I don't care, it works for me. The nice thing about the silencer though, like not only is it a noise gate, it is also a splitter. It can be used to buffer the signal and then split it in 2 perfect buffered copies. So the output and the send both send out an identical, signal, basically. So one of them can go and become my synth sound. And my idea for that is to plug it directly from that into this, the Zoom MS-70 multi-stomp, because that is just a bunch of choruses and delays and reverb and, crazy kooky noises, ways of messing with the signal until it sounds nothing like a guitar anymore. And that's exactly what I want. That'll be my first output to 1 amp or 1 input on the mixer or whatever way you want to call it. If I was playing live, I suppose it would go to a separate amp. I probably won't ever play live with it like this, but it's fun to dream. Then I suppose we'll take the bass next. The bass is the next simple thing. So if one output from this is going to this and then to an amp, so the other output then will have to go to another splitter. Now, I used to always have my loop station at the end of the line because I only had one instrument going into it and I wanted to loop it with all of the stuff it's doing, you know, in there. Now I'm thinking I could use that as both a splitter and use it as a looper for the guitar and the bass parts of whatever I'm playing. I think that could be kind of cool. So if I take the other output of the silencer and plug it in here, and then one output from that is going to be my bass signal, which will then go, I'm thinking, into my graphic EQ, where I'll roll off all the highs and make it more bassy, maybe boost the bass even, and then into my sub and up, which I can lower the whole guitar signal by 1 or 2 octaves to make it even more bassy. And then from that, I figure I'll use my Polara for that, because I have this Ocean Machine for the guitar, and that's like a huge amount of reverbs and delays, and there's no need for 2 delays on the guitar chain. And then the other side of it is I'll be using my 7-string guitar, so I'll be able to use like the 7th lowest string for bass stuff. So that's the bass chain. Oh, actually no, I forgot. I was also thinking of using this guy. Pigtone bass driver. It's a cheap Chinese pedal. It's kind of like a bass driver ripoff, but I figured it might be cool. It might let me have some cooler sounds, make it sound more like a bass, or if not like a bass, then just like something cool. So yeah, we might do silencer, EQ, subbing up, Polara, bass driver for that. Then the guitar signal, I messed that up actually. Yeah, it's like silencer, looper, graphic EQ, subbing up, Polara, bass driver. Yeah. Then for the actual guitar signal, it's the other output from my loop station. Will just go into an amalgamation of all of my other pedals. You know, I've got compressor, you know, clone, God City Instruments pedal, Sludgehammer. I've got all of the Behringer ones to do cool things, like the Super Fuzz. Definitely I'll end up using that, and probably the Tube Screamer. Not sure about the heavy metal. Might not. And the RP87 obviously will be included, and then I've got the phaser and the chorus. I might use them, I might not. Most of what I do is coming out of this guy now. I need to clean this pedal board. I haven't played it in so long, it's got dusty and rotten. But yeah. Then there's some other considerations like accessibility, being able to hit the right buttons when I want to hit them and stuff. So I'll have to think about that stuff. But that's the plan for now, that's the idea. And I'm gonna just go ahead and try and do it. I might do like a time lapse or fast forward, whatever you call it. You can see me rip apart my pedal board and put it together again. How about that? Can you even see my thumbs up there? Yeah, you can. Sound. So that was fun. One notable thing, well, firstly, the very first pedal that I tried to take off, the backing kind of didn't stick, so I'm going to have to glue that down properly again. The other issue has been a constant issue since I built this, is my oh-highs, and yes, I do know how to pronounce it now. My oh-high power supplies, they're not exactly stuck in there very well, so I'm going to have to try and alleviate that. Somehow. I could try and super glue these down, I suppose, these strips. I don't know. Well, the adherence of this was never the issue, it was the back of the actual oh-hi here. It never stuck to that. I might just duct tape the entire thing onto it. So I have two of these guys. Well, I suppose one is... oh no, I think they are both just Ohais. Yeah, because like one is like an expansion kit, but the expansion kit is just another Ohai with slightly fewer cables. Or not even slightly fewer cables, just not the actual PSU. So yeah. What way did I have these? I think I want them something like that. Maybe. Or just like this, maybe. Oh, that won't work because you'll be hiding one of them. Yeah, so we'll have to have like that, and that, and then the power cables flying out different ways. Or we could just, yeah, back to how I thought it. I would like that. And how am I going to stick them there? Well, okay, well, the option I was just thinking is duct tape. That would probably work best, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, so that's how the synth sounds so far, but I mean I can always change the patch on my Zoom multi-stomp and make it sound completely different if I want to. Yeah, so let's move on and try to plug in the bass stuff. Right, so what we have set up now is the original circuit, or signal chain, or whatever way you want to call it, was the volume pedal into the tuner, into the silencer, into the zoom. Then we have a split from the silencer now, so it goes one way to the zoom and the other way goes down to the loop station. Then the loop station has two outputs. Only one of them is being used so far, and that one is going up to the graphic EQ, then my sub and up octave pedal, then my Digitech Polar reverb, and then up to my Pigtone driver and DI for bass. And then there's a little control switch that I built that's for the loop station, but it's just kind of nothing to do with what I'm doing, but I plug it in anyway. So yeah. This should be the bass circuit, so I'm going to mess around with it for a while and we'll see how it sounds. Okay, so that's pretty good, I think. The examples I was probably playing while I was doing it in between finishing bits probably don't sound so great. And God only knows this probably might not sound great either. This might not sound great either. But yeah, let's give it a shot. I'll play something, an original composition for this occasion, which is to say it's like 4 chords over and over, maybe some power chords as well, for fun. I don't know. See how it goes. So, was that worth doing? I don't know. Sounds kind of cool. I'm sure with a bit more work I could make it sound cooler. There, you can hear the separation between the guitar, the synth, and the bass. A bit of extra tweaking can make it more obvious, maybe panning and whatnot. There are improvements that could be made. I do have the looper. Probably isn't the best idea to use as a second splitter, because ideally I think you'd want the looper at the end so that you could loop the one part with all the effects on it from the guitar, say, and then continue playing like a lead part over it or something. But in fact you could probably take both the bass and the guitar into the looper as separate tracks. But that's a whole ball of agony that I'm not dealing with right now. Yeah. What else? I don't know what else. It is what it is. I wasted about a month doing this, on and off. should really do something more productive. Yeah. Maybe write some music. And practice. Spending more time messing with pedals and practicing, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have ever tried to do something similar, build a one-man band pedal board, or just crazy effects pedal boards. I mean, at the end of the day, really, it is just one guitar. You can kind of lie to yourself and say it sounds like a bass, a guitar, and a synth, but you know, it really is just a guitar. You know, I know, we all know. God damn, I'm wasting my life. Not really though, kind of. See you next time.